peoples of the tube, and welcome back to the very first episode of a brand new segment that I like to call Is This Sprite Still Alright?
Is this Sprite still alright?
Now before I continue, I feel I should clarify something. No, this video is not sponsored by, I think it's Coca-Cola that makes Sprite. I'm unaffiliated, unrelated. This has not been approved in the slightest. To be honest, they probably wouldn't want this as an advert because it's probably going to go horribly. Obviously, other fizzy lemon lime beverages are available, but the fact that it is actually Sprite and that rhymes with a nice catchy title, that's the only reason I'm not like keeping it vague as to what I'm drinking. So yeah, with that out of the way, let me give you some backstory to this specific can of lemon lime beverage. Way back when my grandmother turned 90, she had a birthday party, as you would if you're turning such a large age. And at that party, there were many fizzy drinks for people to enjoy. For some reason, no one drank any of the Sprite. There was like 6 cans of Sprite, it might have been 4, I don't remember. It was either 4 or 6 pack of cans of Sprite. No one drank any, which is weird because that's like one of my favorites. You know, I'm not specifically, 7 Up is also exactly the same stuff, but that general region of drink, that's my favorite. But then uh, my mother was present and probably was frowning at me for drinking anything other than water, so that's probably why I didn't have any. But then recently, I was in the larder there, and I noticed these cans of Sprite were still there, and I thought I could drink those. That's something that I like. They're there. No one seems to want them. Maybe I will drink these. But here's the twist, right? I mentioned that this was my grandmother's 90th birthday. She's no longer with us. If she was, she would be 106 this year. The party was 15 and a half years ago, late 2003. So, this kind of Sprite is old. It's very old. I'm pretty sure this is no longer the logo. So that could be a clue. I'm almost certain that that's not the logo anymore. So yeah, this is an old drink. According to the bottom of the can, it expired March 2006, which is 2.5 years after the party. So that's a pretty good shelf life, but not as good as the 15 and a half years that I've waited to do this. You see why we're kind of stuck with branded Sprite, because if I were to plan this out intentionally to use like supermarket off-brand, I'd have to wait until the year 2034, and I wasn't planning on living that long. So, yes, the big question of the day, is this still drinkable? Because if it is, like, there's another 3 to 5 cans of this. If it is, I'll drink them. Great, that'll be nice. If not, I won't. So let's find out. Is this Sprite still alright? Let's find out. Barry Letts finds out. Barry Letts does not find out. Um, yeah. Is there anything else I want to say before I potentially poison myself with very old liquids? I don't think so. I think this is pretty self-explanatory. It's almost a year to the day since I put out, what was it, Bad Gelatin on Eggs episode 1, which it went out on April Fool's Day, and I was like, this is like this nonsense video. And then I made it. I was like a fake out series, but then I was like, no, let's not fall into the trap of making my thing on April Fool's Day be a joke. Let's just do another 2 episodes, which I did. This there probably won't be an episode 2. I'm like, where do you go from this? I don't know. But yeah, I've talked enough. First of all, question number 1: is it still fizzy? Well, that's promising. Yeah, yeah. There's fizzy noises coming from in there. That's promising. That's a good start, isn't it? Question 2: what does it look like? This is why I've got clear glass instead of like. I mean, I do have a mug in my room, but that's yeah. I want to see what it actually looks like in a glass. Honestly, so far so good. It looks fine. It sounds fine. Quite big measuring this. Okay, so we can get the product placement off screen now. Um, yeah, it's not got a funny color. That's my second observation. Um, what does it smell like? Smells like Sprite. It just smells like Sprite. I think honestly this is going to turn out to be really boring if it's just fine. Um, Sub question is obviously, have I made a big error in judgment and am I now wearing way too much makeup to be eating or drinking anything on screen? I don't know. Let's find out. Um, it's not going to kill me, and if it does, that's a great, write that on my tombstone. Not going to kill me. Dead. Okay. Let's have a bit more. So it doesn't really taste like Sprite per se. It doesn't taste bad. I'm guessing one of three potential reasons why this does not taste quite as I'm expecting it to. Reason number one, at some point over the last 15 and a half years, they may have changed the recipe. Um, I didn't drink it so much back then because I wasn't allowed. Um, so that's possible. Option number two, this has been sitting unchilled for a decade and a half, so I tend to drink it chilled if I do. So that could be part of the reason. Option number three, it could just have decayed slightly. It tastes sweeter, I think, than it should. And obviously, this is back before the sugar tax and all that nonsense. So it could be, again, it could be recipe, or it could just be that the sugar is kind of condensed. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I mean, I'm supposed to be, but I'm not. I'm not. Honestly, though, it doesn't quite taste like I think Sprite should, but it doesn't taste horrible. It tastes fine. It's a very weird texture to the fizz. Not like a texture, but the bubbles are. It's all just. It's nearly normal, but just not quite right. A bit like me. It's a fizzy drink equivalent of me. It's nearly normal. It's not quite right. There's something not quite right there. Um. So yeah, it seems kind of underwhelming now after that. I'll just stick around. I'll finish my drink. It is entirely drinkable, so I'll drink the rest of it for sure. Unless I get really ill tonight. You know what? This is really boring. Let's see if I can find some of those gummy bears and eat them. Give me something amusing. Do I still have? We'll have a little intermission. I'll see if I can find some of those gummy bears and see. I feel I need to eat something unpleasant now. I've not. Be with you in a second. Okay, so just so that we'll never have any idea what it is that's giving me the stomach upset. Is it this or is it these? They don't smell very nice. Was it last year Suge gave me these or the year before? These have been sitting in my room for a very long time. Um, the demon bears. Let's have a few demon bears. Now, supposedly the limit is like I don't remember, four, five, three. I'll eat a few. I'm curious as to what they're like. Let's find out what. This is a side quest. The Sprite was fine. It was fine. Let's have the demon colon bears and see what they're like. Very hard and rubbery, but that's probably because it's been sitting in my drawer for a year and a half. Um, so yeah, that's it tastes quite nice. Not nice enough, I think, that I would eat enough to make myself feel off. Of course, what I'm saying is, it's currently 11:30 in the morning. I'm heading out at like 2:30. That's what 3 hours from now. So these do turn out to be just like the bowel hose that I've heard. I'm not going anywhere. But I do this all for your entertainment, and I hope you're enjoying this. They're quite tasty, actually. The different colors are different flavors. Oh, the variety is empty because you think, well, you're probably fine. But how many have I had? 3? Well, 5. I don't want to. I don't want to. So there's like a kilogram. It's half a kilogram. It's half a kilogram of these. Um, yeah, they're quite nice. So this is unrelated to Sprite or any other drink. This is food. I feel maybe you're lacking the context of what's going on with these. In case you haven't seen the video when I got them. These gummy bears are sugar-free gummy bears, and the reviews for these on like Amazon are almost legendary. Supposedly, whatever sugar substitute are in them, because they are quite sweet, um, messes with your just gives you the terrible diarrheas. And Sue sent me these for my birthday, but I already knew about them. I think he was hoping that I wouldn't know about them and that I'd eat them wholesale, and get explosive diarrhea. But as yet, I've not eaten any of them. Well, obviously now I've eaten like 5 of them. So yeah, that was fine. That was a nice little adventure. We'll throw a caution to go and have a 6th one, will we? Then I'm gonna call it a day. Because I don't particularly want savage ravaging diarrhea. If it was earlier in the morning, I'd take more of a chance. But by the time I got started, it was like 11 o'clock. So, yeah. My thoughts on sugar-free gummy bears, they are very tasty. I can see why you would eat enough to make yourself unwell. How many is enough? I don't know. Is it 6? I'll I'll probably wait until this evening before I put this video up, and I'll post a little add-on scene if I feel rough, where I say, "Whoops, that was a mistake." If not, if if they turn out fine, here's a caption on the screen saying that it turned out fine. Just gonna have a bit more of my drink. This feels like a very civilized video. I had some lemonade, unless you're in America, in which case this is definitely not lemonade. I had some gummy bears. We just had a nice time. I don't know if it shows up very well on the camera, but I got like this necklace recently. It's a hexagon because I like hexagons. So I've got hexagon glass. You might not know this, but hexagons are my favourite two-dimensional shape. I like them, which is nice because they're in Doctor Who a lot. So the TARDIS has got a hexagonal console and hexagons on the wall always and things like that. So it's nice. Hexagons, they're a good shape. 6 out of 6 would hex again. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.